the apparent physical body. I call it an apparent physical body because it is only an appearance of a body, of substance, of matter, of flesh and blood, of a vessel that people believe that contains their soul or something spiritual. And there are two things, the soul and the body, and they dwell together, they have some kind of a connection, but the soul is trapped inside the body, and we believe that we are this body. When we look in the mirror, this is who we identify we are through the body, different shape of our body. And when I had my shift and started to live as this thing, I realized something about the body and its connection to this thing. The first thing I realized that it is not made of matter and not made of anything, and is not existing in the way I used to believe that it is real. It is not real, same as my identification with the character Simcha and her story and her psychology of a story was not real. The same way the body is not real. So it can walk through walls or on water or fly or defy gravity because it is not different from gravity or the walls or anything. So the idea is that it is possible, but it is not being done because it's not logical for the story, for the apparent story, for how it looks. So this is the only reason why I don't walk through walls or on water, because it simply doesn't fit my story, Simcha's story, who she is. So the body is not different from anything around it and from this oneness who is everything. So it has no boundaries, it has no shape, it is the mere illusion and appearance. But as long as you are looking at the mirror and this is what you see, you have the body. And what I realized after realizing that it is not there and it can do anything because it is not there, the second thing I realized is that the body is detached from this soul completely. The soul. When I had this shift, 1 year after I had this shift, I witnessed a car accident. It was a motorcycle, and I was driving, and the motorcycle was passing in front of me, and then he lost control and he fell. He just flew in front of my windshield and just fell in front of me, and his helmet flew, and he crashed, and I stopped just in front of him, and I knew he was dead because it was a sight. And what I realized that my body reacted very strongly to this thing because it was a horrific scene, like from a very bad movie with so much blood. So my body reacted. My body wanted to throw up. My stomach hurt. I saw this thing and the body wanted to throw up and the stomach hurt. But the oneness, the one thing that knew what was happening, that knew that nothing is happening, that knew what she is seeing, who she is, who this motorcycle man who is dead right now is, was untouched. As a person, I managed to call the police and do everything that was needed to be done, and I stayed very calm and very focused, and I was acting in the highest way possible inside this very strange turn of events, but my body, Simcha's body, was just nauseous. So I realized that the body can feel things that the oneness, or express things that the oneness, when it is untouched, can't feel. So it's like it has a life of its own, and its reactions are similar to what it is living inside itself, not the absolute state, the reality of what is happening. Another example was when I got on the Ferris wheel, I think you say that, the giant wheel, when you go up. And Simcha used to be scared of heights. And after the shift, I gladly went inside one of these Ferris balls, and I enjoyed it very much. I laughed. But my stomach, Simcha's stomach, was just sinking. The actual pain, the actual fear was expressed through the body. So it was a body response to this state, but not a mental response. Because there can be no fear in this state, or you cannot feel anything like something is happening. So the only way you can feel or know that something is happening and what would the character feel is through the body. So these are two cases in which Simcha knew how the body helped her to react when she was connected to it by identification with the character, when she thought the character and the body were the same thing, the vessel inside the soul. But when you think about the soul that is in the body now, you believe that it is your soul that is in the body. Someone's soul is inside someone's body. But when you realize the absolute truth, you know that there is no someone's soul in someone's body. There is no body, but there is no one to feel these things that the body feels. And in the normal state that humanity lives right now, this is a merge, a perfect merge between the identification of the character and what it feels, and the expression in the body. So when you take away the characters, there is only the expression of the body, and the body is just like any other object in our surroundings, in my surroundings. It has no meaning. So it doesn't matter how strongly it will react. It doesn't influence the state Simcha is in. Simcha's character is still being represented by Simcha's body. So the story continues. The story continues, and now she knows who she is, but she is an appearance of a body. And this appearance of a body must behave as though it is real. It is a function in this reality, just like the laws of nature are still functioning. This body has to obey the rules of reality. So in the appearance, there is still the basic things that persons do as a body. Simcha sleeps. Of course, she's a night bird. She likes the nights better than the mornings, and so she's better functioning in the nights. And she loves being awake at night and just being with the silence, with the night. But she needs to sleep, and if she won't sleep, she'll be tired and she'll get sick. And Simcha's the character as she suffered from migraines. All of her life, she suffered from severe migraines. And after the shift, something very interesting happened to the migraines. So the first time after the shift, Simcha had a migraine. The migraine was on the other side of the head. All her life, the migraine came at the left side of her head, and she knew this is the side of the migraine. We know those things. She lived like that for 45 years, and then after the shift, the migraine appeared in the right side of her, in the right temple, and it was so strange. It's like the brain was cross-wired or something. And now, the only difference between the migraine before the shift and the migraines after the shift is the knowing what this pain is, the knowing that this pain is not real, it is not pain, and the body feels the pain, but it doesn't have any psychological burden attached to it. It's just the pain, which is an expression, just like any other expression, just like the flower or something you really enjoy, your food or something you love. It is pain, it is an expression. This is what is happening right now. And true, the body suffers, but it's the body. And this is what happens. Another strange thing that happened in the physical body, the apparent physical body of Simcha after the shift, was connected to the fact that she, through the course of her life, never liked to eat onions, and this was a very important thing for her. She knew she wouldn't eat anything with onions in it, and ever since she was a child, my mother cooked without onion in all the restaurants. Everybody who knows Simcha knew that about her. She wouldn't eat onion under no circumstances, not live, not in a salad, not cooked, nothing. And after the shift, I was in some place that they served some kind of spinach pie, and I took a large slice and I ate it complete. And then my friend came to me and said, "Did you eat that?" And I said, "Yes, it was very good." And she said, "But it was full of onion. Didn't you notice?" And I didn't. I didn't notice there was onion in this pie because this shift made me lose the judgment for anything. So I couldn't judge that there is something wrong with this food or something is bothering me. Everything was, I think this is the reason, I couldn't notice. And ever since that day, I do eat onion. It's very strange for everyone, someone who knew me and sees me eating onions. I think this is the most proof I have to give to this state that I'm in such radical change. Funny, but yes, this is a radical change for those who know me. So the body, as a representation, as an idea of the separate form, after the shift, continues to be this representation, this voice, this figure. I can say that something very, very fundamental changed after my shift in the way I'm carrying myself. Before the shift, my shoulders were, I think the word is slouched. They were like this. I was walking just a little bit with a bend. And I had to remind myself all the time to straighten my back and to walk like straight. And it was a constant fight because I didn't want to go in this manner. I wanted to be straight. I don't know if the word is straight, but I wanted my back to be straight. And I didn't manage to do that for more than a few seconds before the natural posture was this, my walking, my sitting. And when the shift happened, Simcha cannot do this. She has to make an effort to take the shoulders down. the natural state of walking is so straight and sitting. And the way of the walk, the body carries itself in a different kind of way. This oneness expresses itself through the body by being so complete and so proud. I don't know, she's walking, when Simcha is walking, she's walking. The feeling when I felt the way this thing is being expressed to the body is like literally like walking on clouds. It's so soft. Everything you tremble on, you step on something very, very soft. You are very, very, very light. There is a lightness in the body. The body feels that it has no substance in it, so it is very light, and walking is something very natural. And I know there is a meditation for walking. There's people sometimes, they try to stay focused while walking, so sometimes people try to do that, can understand what this kind of walking is just being one with everything around you, and this is only the movement, and it's so easy, and it's so light. The body is light. The body is also, through this great focus that comes with this understanding, the body is so accurate, because before the shift, I used to have little accidents, you know, when you bump your leg in the table or something drops and you're not so very focused, or you fall. So you feel you left your alertness and something has happened. But in this state, I rarely do that. I rarely accidentally do something with my body, because the body is so one with this whole thing. It always moves in the most harmonious way. And when it falls, and yesterday I went to water my garden, and someone, I don't know, my boy or someone put something in the grass, like a great big cane, slippery cane. I didn't know it was there, so I stepped on it, and it was like stepping on a skateboard, because you don't know it's there, so you just slide. And I slide, and the way the body reacted to this fall is also so alert, because it instantly knew what to do to fall in the best way, and I found myself just sitting with my back straight and looking at what has happened and how I fell. So it's something that I think, because the body moves automatically, everything is not being controlled by someone who is very nervous and trying to do the thing, so it moves in a harmonious way with its surroundings, so it has no accidents, or it is very, very, it's one with everything. So this is this expression. I know that many people have problems with their apparent body, their apparent body. And there can be many reasons for not liking your apparent body. It can be that you don't like how it looks. You don't like the way it is shaped. You don't like your form, the way you were created, your color, your weight, your height, your face. Something about this arrangement doesn't suit you. You wanted it to be more beautiful, more aligned to what society thinks it's beautiful. So you can have problems with your apparent body in this kind of way. And you can hate or dislike your body because it betrays you, because it's sick, because it has something that makes your life so hard and hard to function. Maybe you are disabled. Maybe you are very old. So things that the body you don't accept it as it is. You want it to be different. And there are many other reasons why people hate or dislike their bodies and don't accept their outer forms and wished it was different. But if we try to look at the body as what it is, a representation of an idea which is symbolizing the character so much. It is not the direct experience that you now feel, this is me, this is my body, I can feel these hands, these are my hands. It's not so simple, because this is the direct knowledge, this is my hand, I know that, I feel that. How can, if I'll cut it, it will bleed. But I say this hand is a representation of an idea, of a metaphor, of the character in the separate form. And the absolute state doesn't care what kind of shape you are in. And more, it created itself in this way and in your specific appearance of a body. And there are so many different kinds and shapes of bodies. It's amazing. So resisting our outer shape, our body, is resisting ourselves as this oneness. Because who are we to resist it? It's so unnatural to resist what is you, what is being represented through your form. Instead of looking at your specific, unique, amazing, one-of-a-kind form, you are looking for ways to improve it or change it or make it something that is more accessible to what the character believes that your body or a body should look like or act like. Because we don't accept old age and we don't accept illnesses. But they happen. There are things, these things happen, we age, we get sick. So why? Why does the body go through all these processes? Because it is meant to do that. It is meant for the separate character, the separate form, to see how it reacts and how it acts in different kinds of situations, and how it ages, and what it brings to the knowledge of knowing what she is, who she is. We can see the body as the opportunity to look at the representation we chose for ourselves and see what is the uniqueness in this body. Why is it beautiful? Just as it is, because it is beautiful, just as it is, just the way you look right now is amazing, is undescribably amazing. Your body is such a wonderful mechanism, such a wonderful idea. Think about how complicated all the structure is, how many functions are working together just to make this hand move, and all these things that are in common for all the people are wrapped in different kinds of wraps, different kind of bodies. Why look like someone else or something else that is better? Why is something more, why is something considered to be more beautiful? There are these conventions that the young people are more beautiful than old people. And if you have a certain proportion in your face, and you are beautiful, or the colors of your eyes. But it is nothing. The real beauty and I think you must agree with me that you know people that are not considered beautiful by society, but they are the most beautiful people you know, because of who they are, because of what they represent, because of the way they make you feel. They are beautiful. It doesn't matter what kind of form their body takes. Their body is merely just kind of a representation, and when you look at them, you think they are beautiful because of who they are. Even if they are not beautiful in the conventional way, you think they are beautiful. Even if it's a woman and she's very, very, society doesn't like fat people, so she's very fat, but she's lovely, and she's laughing, and she makes you feel good, and she's beautiful. She's so, so beautiful. And it doesn't matter how the person looks like. It is only a representation. The outer form is a representation. It is our judgment, the society's judgment of how people should look, which makes everyone reject this present that they get in their body. So your body is the way this oneness decided to represent itself. You are a representation of this oneness in this illusory reality. You are the idea, you are the metaphor. You are the metaphor of what it is. And it gave you some kind of shape. And you have to be proud of this shape, because this is the shape. Now Simcha, who's talking, got this shape. This is a very nice shape. It's thin, I don't know, it's dark, my skin is dark, she's thin, she has certain qualities in her body, and maybe not all the people like this kind of, wouldn't want to look like that. So what? I don't think that anyone should look like anyone. The beauty is in the uniqueness of the body. So the apparent appearance of a body is this representation of what this oneness is. This is how it looks like, some kind of body. Of course, it's not made of anything, but it is the idea. And if we want to start to understand this oneness, acceptance, self-acceptance is a very important part, because we have to accept what we are. Resisting your body is resisting oneness. Whatever your body brings you, this is what oneness wants to express. So you have to do whatever it takes, if you are sick, to try and get better, and do everything in your power to make this oneness look at the story of something who was sick and got himself better, or someone who was overweighted, and oneness sees through his efforts how he's getting healthier. But this does not mean he doesn't accept what this kind of form he is in. We accept the potential. We accept the potential of the body, and we can play with it, and we can do things with our body, amazing things with our body. We can activate it. So Simcha, before the shift, she went to yoga classes, and she was very good at it, because as a child, Simcha was a gymnastics. She used to do somersaults and fly in the air. She loved it very much. So yoga looked like some kind of way to maintain the flexibility of the body, because she was very, and she is still now very flexible. So moving the body is very important. Celebrating the body. Most of all, dancing. Dancing is very healthy, both for the body, because it moves, and for the acceptance of the body, because if you are shy when you are dancing, you don't accept your body. Dancing is a very powerful tool to accept the body, and you should do that. I recommend dance dance with yourself if you are ashamed at first. Just put the favorite music you like and move the body. Let the body and the music become one, and let it express. Let it express this thing through the movement of the body. Connect to this thing through the movement of the body, because it wants to celebrate itself. Our body wants to celebrate itself. It wants to enjoy itself, and not through eating, because eating is nice and it is necessary, so we have to eat, but it's not the main thing. Truly accepting the body is moving in the body and acting in the body and celebrating the body and letting its potential show. So dance. Simcha loves to dance. Whenever she hears music, it's like a dog whistle. She hears the music and she wants to move, because this thing is movement and celebration and joy, and the body wants to do that, but the body wants to move. The body wants the connection, and dancing makes this connection if you do that. And then if you allow yourself to dance in front of other people, you encourage them to free themselves and basically to accept the way they look. The apparent body is this idea, magnificent idea of oneness as expressed in the boundaries of your separate form, and it is meant to be celebrated, not denied. Whatever your body looks like, whatever it does, it is this oneness. Go and celebrate it.
Nothing good, nothing bad, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing stillborn or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than